Okay, let's dive right in. You know that feeling, right? That buzz when news drops about a major anime franchise like Gundam.
Oh, yeah, especially a new series. Always big news.
Exactly. And today, it's not just series news, it's tangible. We've got word on new merchandise for the latest show, Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX.
That's right. We're basing this deep dive on an official press release. It's from COSPA, a really well-known Japanese company in the character goods world, dated June 12, 2025.
So, pretty fresh info. And it's laser-focused on Gundam GQuuuuuX merch.
Specifically, a particular series they do called Tsumamare.
Tsumamare. Okay, I think I've seen those. Aren't they the ones where the character looks like you're pinching them?
That's the exact concept. The press release announces a whole new line of these just for Gundam GQuuuuuX. They're these unique accessories, keychains mostly, designed so the character looks like they're being picked up or, yeah, pinched.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then. We need to unpack this press release. What exactly are these Tsumari things, according to the source anyway?
Uh-huh. And who's in the lineup? Any surprises there?
And crucially, how do fans get them? When? Where? Especially these advanced sales they mentioned.
Right. And beyond just the product, what does this tell us about GQuuuuuX, maybe? Or even just how anime merch works over there?
Yeah, digging out all those details, understanding what it means if you're a fan, a collector, or honestly just curious about this side of pop culture.
Okay, let's start with the core announcement. The new GQuuuuuX Sumar line from COSPA.
Right, the headline news. COSPA is launching these items specifically for Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX. It's the main thrust of the release.
And yeah, to really get it, we need to break down that Sumar concept just based on what COSPA says here. They're acrylic. That's the material.
Acrylic, okay. Like most keychains these days.
Pretty much. But the key thing, the unique part, is the artwork and the shape. It's designed so when you hold the top part, between your thumb and finger,
Yeah.
the character art below looks exactly like your fingers are pinching them. It's a clever visual trick.
Huh. So it interacts with how you hold it. That's neat.
It is, and it doesn't stop there. It has a keychain part, right? So
Yeah.
if you hang it from your bag or keys...
It looks like it's dangling, still being pinched.
Exactly. It looks like it's dangling because it's being pinched from above.
Yeah.
And the press release really leans into this. It mentions the fun of the characters' reactions to being pinched. Like, they look surprised or maybe a bit annoyed.
So the art isn't just static, it shows that reaction. That's the gag.
That's the whole hook. And interestingly, the source notes that the word itself, Sumar, spelled akhlaja in Japanese, is actually a registered trademark of COSPA.
Oh, really? They trademarked the concept.
Seems like it. Trademarking not just a name, but this specific style, the pinched art, the interaction that suggests they see it as their unique invention, a distinct product type they own.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
It protects their specific gimmick in a crowded market, gives them an edge.
Right. It's a recognizable style across different anime and game licenses they handle. They've built a brand around this specific look.
Okay, so they've got this established trademarked style. Now, the big question for Gundam fans,
Yeah.
who from GQuuuuuX is getting the Sumo treatment in this first batch? What does the list say?
All right, the press release lists a total of 7 types, 7 different items. First, we have characters who seem to be from the new series.
Machu.
Machu, okay.
Yeah. Yan.
Nan, got it.
And Shuji.
Shuji, so 3 characters, presumably the main cast or a part of it.
Seems likely. Then we get into the mobile suits. There's one for GQuuuuuX itself, the title Mech.
Makes sense, the star of the show.
And then, listed as a separate item, is Akai Gundam, the Red Gundam.
Wait, listed separately, so not just GQuuuuuX red version or something, it's its own distinct Sumar.
That's how the list presents it. GQuuuuuX is one item, Akai Gundam is another, which is interesting in itself. Maybe 2 key suits or a very distinct variant.
Okay, so that's 5 items, 3 characters, the main Gundam, and a red Gundam. Seems like a solid starting lineup for GQuuuuuX, but you said 7 total? Ah, yes. This is where it gets intriguing, especially for longtime fans. The other 2 items listed are Char Aznable.
Whoa, okay. Char, the Red Comet, in the GQuuuuX lineup.
Yep. And number 7 is Sharia Bull.
Sharia Bull, also from the original Mobile Suit Gundam. A significant new type character. Wow, okay. That definitely raises some eyebrows.
Right. Including arguably the most iconic rival in all of Gundam, Char, and another notable original series character like Sharia Bull in the merchandise line for a brand new series. It's a choice, a very deliberate choice.
It immediately makes you ask questions, like, Is GQuuuuuuX somehow connected to the Universal Century timeline? Are these characters actually in the show?
Could be. Based only on this press release, seeing them listed together like this definitely suggests some kind of link. Maybe it's set in UC, maybe there's some timey-wimey stuff, dimensional travel. Who knows? Or maybe it's thematic.
A thematic connection.
Yeah, like maybe GQuuuuuuX explores similar ideas, and Char and Sharia Bull are included as kind of symbolic representatives, and we have to consider this.
It could just be marketing, leveraging classic characters to sell stuff for the new show.
Exactly. Char Aznavour is globally famous. Putting him on merch for a new series instantly grabs the attention of the huge existing Gundam fan base. It's a way to say, hey, Universal Century fans, look over here, new series, but we've got your guy too.
It's smart, in a way. But man, it really fuels speculation about what GQuuuuuuX actually is. Is it just a sales tactic or a genuine hint about the story? We can't know for sure just from this.
We can't, but the fact they're included is undeniable and interesting. And speaking of the presentation, the artwork itself is important here too.
Oh yeah. What does the release say about the art?
It specifically mentions that all 7 items feature newly drawn illustrations. The Japanese term is bachan, kakiroshi. This means it's not just recycled art from the show or promo materials.
It's original art, just for these items.
Exactly, and they even credit the artist, Hira Yukio. Getting unique commissioned art is always a plus for collectors. It adds value.
And presumably, this new art is specifically designed to capture that pinched look we were talking about.
Absolutely. The artist, Hira Yukio, would have drawn them specifically in that pose, showing that reaction surprise, maybe slight indignation of being held or dangled. It's tailored art for the Tsumamare concept.
That makes sense. The art has to sell the gimmick.
Mm.
Okay, so concept, characters, including the curveballs, and new art. Let's get practical. Section 2, product details. What are these things actually like?
Right, the specs, material, acrylic.
Yeah.
As we said, very standard for keychains, standees, that sort of thing in Japan.
Like acrylic, though? Is it just cheap?
Well, it's cost-effective for mass production, yeah, but it's also pretty durable, for something banging against keys or a bag. And crucially, it takes print really well. You get sharp lines, bright colors, good for showing off that detailed artwork.
Makes sense. Durable and looks good. What about size? How big are we talking?
They're listed as approximately 60 millimeters, so what's that, about 2.5 inches? Maybe a bit less?
Okay, pocket size.
Yeah, the release calls them palm-sized to know Hira's size. Big enough to see the art, small enough to be a practical accessory. Not too bulky.
Gotcha. And the price tag?
880 yen each, tax included.
880 yen. How does that stack up?
Pretty standard, actually. For licensed character acrylic keychains in Japan, it's right in the typical ballpark. Makes them fairly accessible, collectible without breaking the bank if you want a few, or like an easy souvenir pickup at an event.
Okay, so affordable, palm-sized acrylic things with unique pinched art. How are you meant to use them? Just as keychains?
That's the main suggested use, yeah. Attached to your keys, bag, backpack, whatever. But COSPA often builds in a bit more flexibility. The keychain part, the little ring, often detachable.
Oh, so you can take that off?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
And the source suggests that without the ring, you could use it as like a zipper pull on a jacket or a pouch. Adds another way to customize your stuff.
The zipper pull, huh? Okay. Anything else?
Yep, there's a specific mention of using them with phones. COSPA sells this separate accessory kit. Let me find the name. Matsu, Avi's Sea and Sheet, Matsubanuki and Earphone Jack Dust cover set.
Okay, what's that?
It's basically a strap, often with a little plug that fits into an earphone jack or a dummy plug if you don't have one. You attach the Tsumamare to the strap, and then you can have the character dangling from your phone. It's a super popular way to display character goods in Japan.
So they're making sure it works with phones, too. That's smart. Covers all bases for how people show off their fandom these days.
Exactly. It increases the usability, the appeal. It's not just one thing.
Yeah.
And underpinning all that is the core visual appeal we keep coming back to.
The unique, pinched, or dangling look.
Yeah, that's what makes it stand out from just a regular flat charm. It's got that bit of personality, that built-in visual gag. It's designed to catch the eye.
Definitely more dynamic. Okay, we know what they are, the specs, the uses. Now, the million-dollar question, or rather, the 880 yen question. When and where can people actually buy these? Section 3, release info.
Okay, the general release date, when they'll be widely available, that's set for late September 2025.
Late September, so a few months away still.
Right. From then, you'll be able to reserve or buy them from COSPA's own mail order site, and also it says others, which usually means various other retailers, online shops, hobby stores that carry COSPA stuff.
So broad availability eventually.
Yeah.
But the press release makes a big deal about getting them earlier, right? The advanced sales.
Sanctioned by.
Absolutely. This is key for the really keen fans. They list several specific opportunities for early access. First up is an event that's actually running right now, the Incordinbun GQuuuuuX Beginning Special Exhibition.
The GQuuuuuX exhibition, where's that?
It's at Anime Tokyo Station,
Yeah.
and it's on from May 24th all the way to August 11th, 2025.
Okay, so you can just go there anytime during the exhibition. Ugh. But, and this is a crucial detail in the release, the Tsumamare items will not be available for the whole exhibition run. They'll only be there for advance sale starting from late July 2025.
Late July onwards. Okay, that's super important. Don't go in June expecting to find them. You got to wait till the later part of the exhibition.
Exactly. It's a specific window within the event. The second big chance mention is Inger 2025 Wonder Festival 2025 Summer.
One fees. Yeah, that's a huge one for figures and garage kits. When is it?
It's a one-day event, July 27th, 2025. And the release confirms these Tsumamare will be available for advance purchase right at the COSPA booth there.
July 27th. Okay, so that lines up with the late July start, the exhibition too. Busy time for early birds.
Very busy. And there's one more specific place mentioned for early sales starting around the same time, late July 2025. That's at COSPA's own official physical retail stores.
So their actual shops will have them early too, not just events.
Correct. Starting late July. So you've got the exhibition from late July, Wonder Festival, July 27th, and COSPA stores from late July. Those are the confirmed early spots. The release also adds a little note saying they might be available at other events COSPA attends or maybe some other select stores, but doesn't give specifics on those.
Okay, so multiple ways to try and snag them before September. It's a classic strategy, isn't it? Tie early access to events and your own stores. Build hype.
Definitely. It rewards the dedicated fans who show up, creates buzz, makes the items feel more exclusive initially. And speaking of exclusivity, there's a warning.
The fine print.
Kind of. It says uchijang, which means...
Advanced sale quantities are limited. Ah, the magic words.
Exactly. The stock they have at the exhibition at Wonder Festival in their stores for these early sales, it's finite. They could sell out.
So if you absolutely must have one early, you need to be prompt. Get there early, hope for the best.
Pretty much. It adds that layer of urgency. If you wait too long during the advance period, you might miss out and have to wait for the general September release anyway. Or, worst case, if demand is crazy, maybe even the first run sells out completely before September.
Right. Adds to the collector frenzy, I guess. Okay. Product details, sales info. Let's zoom out a bit. Section 4. Who is COSPA? What does the press release tell us about them and their place in the market?
Well, it positions them as part of the larger COSPA Group, Ltd. The specific division handling these seems based in Shibuya, Tokyo.
And their main business.
Planning, developing, manufacturing, selling official character merchandise, costumes, that's kind of their origin, cosplay costumes, but also apparel like t-shirts and all sorts of goods like these Tsumamare, basically turning IPs into stuff fans can buy.
And they've been doing this for a while.
A long while. The press release highlights this. 2025 is their 30th anniversary. They were founded back in 1995.
30 years. In the character goods industry, that's ancient. That's like multiple eras of anime trends.
It really is. It signifies experience, stability, established relationships with license holders like Sunrise Bandai Namco for Gundam. You don't last 30 years in this business without knowing what you're doing.
Impressive. And the scale sounds pretty big, too.
Yeah, they mention producing over 2,500 different items annually. That's a huge volume. Covers everything from those high-end cosplay outfits to simple keychains. Shows they're a major player with significant production capacity.
Do they operate under different names? I think I've seen variations.
Yes, the release lists their main brands. COSPA itself, where these GQuuuuuuX items fall. Then there's Nijigen COSPA, often more focused on, say, Mo or cute girl characters.
Right.
COSPATIO, which is their premium, super detailed costume brand. And Kasume, so different labels, probably targeting slightly different niches or product types, but all under the same COSPA group umbrella.
And the main COSPA brand, the one doing these Gundam items, has a kind of mission statement.
Yeah, they include their slogan, Hobby di Dirit, which translates roughly as, let's wear our hobbies out into the town.
I like that. Wear your hobby.
It sums up their philosophy, right?
Yeah.
Creating stuff that lets fans integrate their passion into everyday life. Take it outside, show it off. A Tsumamare dangling from your bag totally fits that idea. It's about public expression of fandom.
And making the personal public. And this Tsumamare series, it's not brand new for GQuuuuuX, is it? It's something they've done before.
Oh yeah, definitely. The press release actually links to their general Tsumamare series page on their website. It's a well-established, popular format they've applied to tons of other anime and games, so they're bringing a proven seller to the new Gundam series.
Makes sense. Stick with what works. And we touched on this, but the timing of this announcement and the sales really lines up with those events.
Perfectly. Announced in June, target late July for the advanced sales. That hits the peak summer event season. It coincides with the GQuuuuuX exhibition being in full swing and exactly with Wonder Festival. It's clearly strategic. Maximize visibility, capitalize on the hype when fans are already gathered and excited about related stuff.
Standard playbook for merch drops, but effective. Okay, context established. Let's move to Section 5, deeper insights. What does all this mean for us, for the listeners?
Well, first off, just the fact that COSPA, a 30-year veteran company, is doing a significant product launch for Gundam GQuuuuX, that alone tells you something. It shows the series is getting real merchandising support. It's being treated as a major new entry in the franchise, not some minor side story. Getting a COSPA license in this kind of rollout means there's investment and confidence behind GQuuuuuX.
It signals that the powers that be are backing it. Okay, now let's go back to that character list again, because that feels like the juiciest part.
It really does. Machu, Neon, Shiji. Okay, new main characters, expected.
Yeah.
GQuuuuuX and the Akai Gundam Key mobile suits, expected.
And just to reiterate, the press release lists GQuuuuuX and Akai Gundam as two separate Tsumamare items, not variations, but distinct products.
Exactly as listed, which, again, just based on the merchandise list, makes you wonder about the relationship between those two suits in the actual show. Is the Red Gundam a different machine entirely? An upgrade? An enemy? The merch just presents them as two options.
And then, Char Aznable and Sharia Bull, landing right in the middle of the GQuuuuX lineup.
Yeah. If GQuuuuuX has zero connection to the Universal Century, their inclusion is jarring. It almost forces you to speculate.
So, possibility 1. Direct connection. Maybe GQuuuuuX is set in UC or involves time travel, parallel worlds, clones, something that brings these specific characters into the story.
That's the most direct reading, suggested purely by them being listed together here. The merchandise hints at a narrative link.
Possibility 2. Thematic link. Maybe the show echoes UC themes, conflicts between rivals, new type phenomena, and Char and Shri are included as sort of like symbolic shorthand for those classic Gundam ideas.
Homages, maybe?
Also plausible. Especially Char, the Red Comet archetype, is powerful. Maybe the Akai Gundam pilot fills a Char-like role, and including the original is a nod to that. Or possibility 3, pure marketing. COSPA knows Char sells. Stick him in the lineup, maybe alongside another recognizable, slightly more fan deep-cut character like Sharia Bull, just to broaden the appeal and catch the eye of the massive existing Gundam fan base.
Can't rule it out. It's a business, after all. Leveraging iconic legacy characters to boost a new product line is common sense commercially. The interesting part is, why these two? Char is obvious, maybe, but Sharia Bull, it feels specific. Even if it is just marketing, the choice itself is intriguing.
It definitely gets people talking, which might be part of the goal. It turns a simple product list into a puzzle.
It does. Merchandise announcements aren't always plot spoilers, obviously, but they are curated selections. They reflect decisions about what represents the show or what will resonate. This particular mix is designed to make you look twice.
So who are these actually for? Who's the target audience?
Pretty broad within the fandom, I'd say. Fans who like the cuter, chibi-fied art style of Tsumamare. Collectors, definitely. People going to the event's Wonder Festival, the exhibition. Anyone looking for a relatively cheap, unique way to show their Gundam love on their bag or keys.
And the classic characters broaden that even more, right? Pulls in the UC diehards.
For sure. Even if someone isn't sold on GQuuuuuX yet, seeing Char or Sharia Bull in this style might tempt them. It connects the new series to the wider Gundam universe, at least on the merch shelf.
Okay, so wrapping this section up, how does knowing all this help you, the listener?
Well, if you're interested in Gundam GQuuuuuX, you now have the lowdown on some of its first big merchandise. You know what Tsumamare are, who's in this first wave, including those fascinating classic editions, what they cost, and most importantly, how and when to get them early, especially those late July dates for the exhibition, Unveils, and COSPA stores.
It's actionable intel if you're a collector or want them ASAP.
Exactly. And even if you're not planning to buy, it's a great little window into how franchises operate. You see a company like COSPA using a specific product strategy, timing releases around events, making character choices that generate buzz. It shows how merch is part of the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, it's not just an afterthought. It's
Right.
woven into the promotion, the fan engagement, maybe even hinting at the show itself.
It's that tangible connection between the screen and the fans' hands.
All right, great stuff. We've really picked apart this COSPA press release. Covered the Sumo line for Gundam GQuuuuuX, the product details, the crucial sales info, the early access points, and put COSPA into context.
Yeah, from the unique pinched art by Hirayukio to that intriguing character list, mixing new faces with Char and Sharia Bull, and that whole strategic rollout culminating in the September general release, but starting with those key summer events.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, here's a final thought for you listeners to mull over, something based on our chat. Given that this major early merchandise announcement for Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX from a big company like COSPA deliberately includes icons like Char Aznable and Sharia Bull alongside the new stuff, what does that specific decision signal to you?
Mm.
Do you see it as a hint about the show's story or themes? Is it COSPA subtly telling us something about GQuuuuuX's connection to the wider Gundam universe? Or is it just smart business, using nostalgia to boost a new product? How do you read the tea leaves when you see a merchandise list like this?
It's a fun puzzle, isn't it? What the merch might be telling us, intentionally or not.
Absolutely. It makes you look at those product announcements a bit differently. Okay, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Gundam merch.
My pleasure. Always fun digging into the details.